Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks pregame show. Hawks and Habs, about 30 minutes from dropping the puck in Montreal. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Hey, you like this? Do us a favor. Smash that like button for us on the YouTube page. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. And join us for the post-game show tonight. As soon as the game ends, we will jump on and wrap up what we hope is a Blackhawks win. We've got a lot to get to today. We're going to share the Taylor Hall-less lines. We've got a new look Power Play 1 unit. We're going to play Who's Your Hawk. We've also got Luke Richardson's press conference from after the morning skate. So, fellas, where shall we begin this evening? All right, cool. I guess we're going to go with the lines.
Yeah, let's start with the lineup. Let's see who's who's playing tonight.
Idea.
All right. Top line, Connor Bedard is centering Taylor Radish and Ryan Donato. That's where we're probably going to start the show. Your second line, Lucas Reichel, centering Tyler Johnson and Andreas Athanasiou. Your third line, the one that remains intact, Dickinson, Foligno, Perry. And then your fourth line, Cole Gutman, Boris Kachuk, and Reese Johnson in the lineup tonight. Not Mackenzie Entwistle, which is a bit of a surprise. Your defensive pairs, Alex Vlasic and Seth Jones, Kevin Korchinski and Connor Murphy, Jared Tenorti and Wyatt Kaiser, and Peter Mrazek will get the start in goal.
That is a beautiful lineup.
Like that graphic.
Steven.
Thank you. I got one more tweak I'm going to put to it, so
Very
it's going
well
to look
done.
better
Sweet.
soon.
Nice.
Well
I
done.
like that.
All
Good
right,
job,
now
Steven.
where's the Montreal lines?
We didn't get those.
Yeah, we put a notion. I mean, come on. No, so the big news is Radish gets Taylor Hall's spot, and we should take a little sidebar here. Taylor Hall wanted to give it a go today.
Yeah.
He practiced yesterday, wanted to give it a go today, but the Hawks are going to be extra cautious, so I almost expect Taylor Hall to be in the lineup on Monday in Toronto.
That's what it sounds like.
So it's a bullet dodged big time.
Yeah, I mean, here we were contemplating, trades and Connor Garland and how to replace Taylor Hall, and we might only have to worry about it for one game. And yeah, Radish gets his spot in the lineup. Reese Johnson gets to play tonight, which is interesting. But I mean, it is good news for Hall that it's not initially when it was like, oh, it could be week to week, for it to be one game. That is quite the brow wipe. Whew.
Yeah, it's very, very good to see him in there. I'm also happy that Luke Richardson's kind of like, yeah, okay, there's no reason to get crazy.
Right, yeah, take the extra day off. Yeah.
Like, let's see how you feel Monday. I'm a little surprised that it's Reese Johnson getting the call tonight. I thought maybe, I don't know if they're worried about because of the physicality they saw in that Toronto game.
Maybe. They don't want someone getting jumped by Arbor Jacki.
You know what? Ryan Reeves, officially a Pudwag.
Yes.
What a jag-off.
Congratulations. You have reached the pinnacle
He jumped
of
me.
Pudwag.
No, he
He
didn't.
didn't jump you. He whooped your ass.
First
That's
of all,
difference.
you boarded a rookie into the boards.
Very, very dirty hit.
He grabbed you, turned you around, and then proceeded to beat your ass.
Yes.
That's a guy going, well, I can't believe I got my ass kicked by a 21-year-old.
I can. I love Jack Guy. That guy's a badass.
Screw Ryan Reeves.
They call him Wi-Fi because his last name is so crazy.
It's a Wi-Fi password, yes.
Arbor. I can't even spell it.
XHEAJ.
Arbor. It won't. Google won't even give me the result.
It won't recognize it.
There we go.
Yeah.
XHEKAJ.
Oh, there's a
And how's
K
that
in there.
pronounced? Jack
Jack Guy.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot.
I'm glad I don't.
that K in there.
He's a fun player. I'm just glad I don't have to cover him because I would never be able to spell that right.
Arbor. Just call him Arbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I
That might be why.
I think Entwistle is in there because, Reese Johnson is in there because Richardson likes the physicality and that aspect of his game. I think if this was going to be maybe more than a spot start, you might see Entwistle in there because of the versatility that he brings to the lineup. He can play on a penalty kill. He can be physical, but also bring a little bit of offense and be able to, move a little bit better within the system. But if it's just a spot start and you want to kind of match up with the physicality that the Canadiens could bring, it makes sense to put in Reese Johnson.
Yeah, maybe we get to see Mackenzie Entwistle on Monday. I mean, I would think he wants to get these guys in as quickly as just
Well,
to get
if Hall's back in the lineup, then Johnson comes out.
Yeah, and then
Unless he wants to take Kachuk, maybe.
yeah, I
Maybe.
mean that's an option. I'm just kind of surprised he's not rotating these guys in.
It's
get
been
'em-
2 games,
I know,
though. Yeah.
but I mean, if you're Mackenzie Entwistle and you get to Monday and you're still not playing, 4 games to sit, that's a long time.
It's weird, though,
That's
'cause-
hard then to ask a guy to come in after
Yeah.
not playing for 2 weeks and expect
Yeah,
anything. out of him.
right.
That's true. I mean, I think for the most part, Boris Kachuk has looked okay. We've seen him force some turnovers. We've seen him be engaged. He's been, I'm not going to say a factor in creating scoring chances or generating offense or anything, but he's not a guy that you're not noticing out there. And I think that sort of brings us to Taylor Radish, because I feel like through the first 2 games, I had to be reminded that number 11 was on the team.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a move to get him going a little bit. It's obviously he was finished among the team's leading scorers last year, and we've seen he could put the puck in the net, but he really hasn't done much this season so far.
I mean, his position in the lineup has definitely changed from what it was last year. So his minutes are going to be different. His maybe responsibilities are going to be different. But this is like you said, it's a good opportunity tonight to, play with Ryan Donato, play with Connor Bedard, have maybe a little bit more of an offensive focus, getting off of that third line spot. So yeah, it would be nice to see him kind of pop in, some offensive chance creating, anything like that. That would be good to see, and hopefully it boosts him into the season, because he's in a contract year. He's definitely, it's clear he's fighting for, ice time. We all kind of penciled him into that top line right wing spot, and then Ryan Donato came in and said, nope, I'm going to take that spot. So, I mean, there's a lot for Radish to play for, so this is a big opportunity for him. And even with, we don't really know the timeline with Philip Kurashev yet. If he plays well tonight and then Taylor Hall comes back in, maybe he just slots down one spot and takes Kurashev's spot on that second line, and gets maybe paired up with Reichel and Athanasiou, and Tyler Johnson gets knocked down to the third line. So there's a lot to play for individually for these guys when they get the opportunity to move up in the lineup because of injury or anything else.
Yeah, hopefully this is the kind of little spark Taylor Hall needs. Again, 2 games, nothing to be overly concerned about, but there should be some space on the ice for him tonight, for sure.
Yeah.
And a couple other things I'm looking specifically for tonight. We've got Andreas Athanasiou back with Lucas Reichel. So this is the first game that those two are going to be together for the whole game.
Yeah.
So that should be fun to see. They've definitely had some really good chemistry last year that carried over into training camp. So it'll be good to see them get some chances. And then I want to see an improvement from Wyatt Kaiser. They had a practice yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So he played the 2 games. He wasn't terrible. I'm not burying the kid, but there were some struggles out there.
Certainly.
So maybe getting that Friday practice and then having a day, I'm sure there were plenty of video. There wasn't going to be a ton of video that you're going to get from Pittsburgh to that Boston game. Maybe a quick session in the morning, but you're really not going to do anything.
Right.
So they had a full practice. I'm sure there was a video. So I'm sure he's had those teaching moments that we talked about. So I think I'd like to see a little improvement there tonight.
I agree. He has looked. There have been moments where you saw what you saw from him in the preseason with that, the skill and the ability to get himself out of trouble. But you've also seen that sort of maybe a little tick late to get the puck away.
Yeah.
Or, taking that extra step here or there where it ends up costing him. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on for sure. Power play units today, by the way, a little bit of a mix-up here. A change-up here, rather. Lucas Reichel is going to go on power play 1 with Bedard, Donato, Perry, and Jones. Not sure exactly where he'll slot. I don't know if Donato's going to be the one taking faceoffs on that line. None of the 3 have really done great at faceoffs.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. It had been Donato with Bedard on that left wing side, kind of as the trigger man there in that Panarin or DeBrincat role. Your second power play unit is Athanasiou, Radish, Johnson, Foligno, and Korchinski. And we've got Luke Richardson from after the morning skate today, and he actually starts off talking about putting Reichel on that first power play unit. So why don't we give that a play right now?
What do you think Lucas can bring differently on that power play to hopefully break through for you guys?
Yeah, we need him shooting the puck for sure. Gives us another shot threat, and obviously he's got some great speed for the breakout. So, we're looking for him to just find some confidence in shooting that puck, and we don't always have to make plays to everybody else. I think we got to make sure shooting the puck is not selfish. It's just kind of going to help our team out. So we're looking for that, and hopefully he can start off with a big goal here tonight. Would be huge for us in Montreal.
Is Taylor close?
Well, he wanted to try it today, and I didn't talk to him after, but he said he'd like to try it today and ramp it up tomorrow, so hopefully that's going to be the plan. But we'll just want to let it kind of settle today and how he feels. But that was a good sign to see him on the ice.
Do you know any of the Curtis and those guys close could join you?
I don't believe anybody's joining us on the trip, but right now we're still kind of day-to-day with those guys. So, I think at this time, not knowing much, anytime someone can join our team, we'll be really welcoming for it and happy. But right now, I think we're just status quo for the trip.
You talked yesterday about the importance of the veteran players in the locker room for Connor Bedard and all the other young guys. You knew Corey Perry from the year he spent here. What's the importance of a guy like him, the specific importance of a guy like him?
So many little intangibles. Like, he's just a professional. He's the first guy at the rink every morning on the bike, warming up, doing everything he can for his body. With his experience, he really gives himself an opportunity to play in this league at 38 years old and still be a big contributor. So using all that, knowledge that he has with our young guys is huge. And little things like on the bench, he knows exactly what's going on the whole game, and he's making sure other guys are aware on their changes, and he's barking if they're not ready to be ready for your changes. He's talking to the referee every whistle, and he talks to them. He doesn't yell at them, so they give him the time of day and listen, so he gets a good feel and gets some of our communication across to them, and that goes a long way. So I think guys see what he does and how he prepares, how he conducts himself every day as a professional, and he's a winner. So that's it. You can't say enough about that.
With the PK, you guys only have the most 30 minutes, but have like one in. What's been the key with penalty kill?
A little bit more aggressive and no hesitation. I think we have some good skaters on the team, both front and back, and I think we can really force the issue. I think we showed a few clips this morning in that we want to continue to do that, and just special attention to detail, like guys like tonight. Nick Suzuki's tendencies and Cole Caulfield, his awareness of where he is on the ice. We got to make sure we're paying attention to detail, and I think we've done that. And that aggressiveness both up ice and now adding a little bit more in zone has really helped us get off to a good start.
It seems like the D-zone coverage has been pretty good. I noticed that there was one play in the first period of Boston where I think Gutman goes really high following the puck carrier, and then the sorting just wasn't there. How high do you want them, and how much does that come down to the wingers and the rest of the players?
You know what? It's every circumstance might be a little bit different, but we play our system, and we're still working at it. But I think the guys are really hammering out little questions every time we do it, just trying to sort out those gray areas. I think there's always going to be a little bit of gray in hockey because it's a fast-moving sport, and if a guy gets out of his area and he gets jigged at the blue line, it's like your suggestion right there with Gutman, that happens, and that happens in every game. Someone's going to get beat or falls down or loses an edge, and I think everybody else just has to be aware and fall back to the middle and protect from the inside out, and I think that we're getting better at it. I think talking and communicating, and that's where we come in with our veterans, are going to really help out in that area as well.
Is it interesting where Dickinson, he seems that his specialty defense, and you have three young centermen, that maybe he's a good example for the strong clips?
Absolutely. Like, he's a competitor, and even just standing up for his teammates last game. I think he's kind of taken that step, I thought, at the end of last year for us, and with a lot more responsibility, and he's continuing it on this year. So we're really going to rely on him a lot. And just like in the first game, he's out there at the end of the game blocking shots and doing whatever he has to do to get that win. So, Dickie's been great for us, and we just want to, utilize him in the right way, and he's always ready to go.
I have an off-topic question, if that's okay. Some teams, both in junior and pro, start questioning the value of morning skates, and they wonder if not taking too much energy from their players. I was wondering if you had this kind of discussion within the organization.
Yeah, no, I've always thought the same type of thing. I think as the season goes along, I think we start utilizing them less. I think it's more of a goalie wants to go out and get the feel of the puck. I think that makes sense, but up and down the ice, too much for 82 games is a lot on the body. So, some days it depends if you don't get to practice the day before, you need to get the legs going, and I understand that. But as we get closer to a heavy schedule in December, we probably won't be doing a lot of morning skates as well. I think it's just putting the monotony of putting on the skates and that. I think being in the dressing room is great. It's good for the team bonding, but I think going on the ice sometimes becomes monotonous, and then you forget, you lose that passion about going out there and playing the game, because it's like on and off and on and off, and the practice maybe doesn't really mean so much. Well, then you don't want that to trickle into their head every time they getting ready to go on the ice. You want it to be the opposite. You want them to be excited. Even if they're a touch rusty sometimes, I think, you get more energy out there at night.
There's Luke Richardson, always giving his thoughts on why he does things the way he does, which I really
Insightful.
appreciate.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be State Street secrets all the time.
I know. I really, that's what I appreciate about him, Richardson. He always gives you the detailed answer, even if when he's giving it to you, I'm kind of just like, yeah. There's a follow up in my head that I always want to be like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But he does a great job of laying it out there, and yeah, I think there's a lot of things to like about Richardson as a coach, and I was mentioning to you guys, during when Richardson was talking about Connor Bedard on the Blackhawks Insider podcast with Darren Pang. I was listening to it on the way in. He mentioned how the young players and he himself specifically, Bedard, likes playing for Richardson and feels so comfortable playing for him because of how he treats the young guys, and they know that if they go out and make a mistake, they're not going to get their head ripped off because of it, that he's going to use it as a teachable moment, and he still wants those guys to go out there and play as themselves within the system that they have in place, but also with the freedom and ability to use the creative skills that they have. So I really love that about Richardson and his approach to the game. And that's why, when he talks about not putting Lucas Reichel with Connor Bedard on a line together, you can get him on the power play while still giving Reichel the opportunity to play center. That's why I'm like, well, as much fun as it would be to see Bedard and Reichel together, I get it and I trust it.
Yeah, there's a good reason behind everything he does.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
I kind of like when he said the other day that we're going to stick with Lucas at center because we promised that we're going to give him a run at center. And that, again, those are little things that build trust between players and coaches, and, not having young players in fear of losing shifts, losing playing time, losing NHL spots because they're making mistakes. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing to have. And this is the perfect time to have that kind of attitude. Maybe
right
3-4 seasons from now, when these aren't the young players anymore, they're not rookies, they're not second-year guys, and the expectations are there for playoffs, maybe that changes a little bit. Maybe it's like, all right, sorry, you threw that pizza in the middle of the ice, you're sitting your next shift. Well,
I think,
but for the young players, it's good.
But I think anyone who uses that sort of a style where I'm not going to bite your head off, I'm going to use this as a teaching moment, they get, when the frustration comes, I experienced this as a parent, where it's like, I told you this is going to happen. You did it. I said, don't do it again, and you did it again. Now there's a consequence.
Right?
That's kind of the way that I think when it becomes time for these guys to not just be kids anymore, not just be prospects anymore, whatever you want to call them, and the time comes to win, that's when Luke has to kind of, I don't want to say flex his muscle. He doesn't need to shift from, Bruce Banner to the Hulk. You know what I mean? But it's hey, there's expectation, so my leash is going to be shorter, and I also have higher expectations from you because you're not a rookie or a second-year player anymore. It's not your first handful of games in the league.
Yeah.
You should know this by now. I shouldn't have to tell you to not throw a blind pass up the middle of the ice on your backhand when you're in the defensive zone. I shouldn't have to tell you that. So now there's a consequence, be it a scratch or whatever.
Luke is probably the guy that's going to, as a coach, pull the old "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed."
Right.
Lovie Smith.
Yeah.
and it's going to hurt the guys even more to be like, "Damn it, I'd be so much rather have you pissed at me." But it is a nice change of Luke Richardson, who is a guy that gets all these young players, even with the veterans, and says, "I just want you to be who you are. You guys play the game that got you here, and I'll figure out a way how to make it all work."
Yeah.
As opposed to the last buffoon that was here.
Doug Buffoon?
Don't you dare.
I won't besmirch the great Doug Buffon. But the last bonehead that was here got it here with no reputation, no track record to go on.
Track
and was
record of
just
success, yeah.
I'm going to do it my way. You're going to completely change who you are and play my way, or I'm not going to play you at all.
My way is going to work. Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was, and it didn't work. So, yeah, I like that Richardson is flexible with, his own lineup. His system is simple, so it's easy to make tweaks and things like that, and let guys have that space to be creative if they can do it, like a Bedard or a Reichel or Taylor Hall. And where guys don't have that creative abilities, it's just very simple, north and south. Reese Johnson, just go out there, be a bowling ball. Don't cost us 2 minutes or whatever, but go out there and play physical. It's a very easy system for a guy who's very north and south, simple dimensional player to one that's multi-dimensional.
We've got to get to Who's Your Hawk, but I know while we were listening to Luke Richardson talk, you pull up the face-off numbers for Donato and Reichel, and
It's not good.
It's not wonderful.
well, yeah, I don't know if we need them exactly, but wasn't the best
I
32%?
still have them here. So these are the three guys on power play one. One of these three guys has to take a face-off. It is now. This is 2 games. It's a very small sample size.
Sure.
Lucas Reichel is 23.1% at the face-off dot. Ryan Donato is 26.7%, and Connor Bedard is 32%.
I like that you put that out into the universe, because now the Blackhawks are going to win 65% of the faceoffs.
Well, Kirby
tonight.
Doc is playing center, so there is a chance that
is
might
true.
happen.
That
So
is
here's
true.
the Montreal lines. Nick Suzuki is centering Cole Caulfield, one of my favorite players in the league, and Josh Anderson. Kirby Doc centering Alex Newhook and Yuri Slavkovsky. Sean Monahan centering Tanner Pearson and Brendan Gallagher. And Jake Evans centering Raphael Harvey Pinard and Jesse, is it Luhonen? I want to make sure I say it right. Yeah,
Spell it.
Ylonen.
You just made up that for
I did. Your defensive pair is Mike Matheson, love him on the Bear, and David Savard, Caden Cooley, and Jonathan Kovacevic. Your Arbor Jacki, my guy, and Jordan Harris, and Sam Montembeau gets to start for the
That
Canadiens.
defense
There you
is a
go.
little sus.
This is going to be the little like deep breath the Hawks can take in this run of Pittsburgh, Boston, Montreal, Toronto,
Colorado.
Colorado, Vegas.
I keep calling him Denver.
Jesus.
Colorado. Yeah.
And then
Colorado
Boston
and then
again.
Vegas.
Yeah,
and then
Montreal
Boston
is
again,
this
yeah.
is the break. This is the one that you really should expect them to win at this next streak.
Well, this is actually a pretty decent measuring stick game, because
Very similar roster.
Pittsburgh and Boston, that you say that they're better than the Blackhawks, and you're not wrong. But Montreal, they're a team that's gonna, you're thinking they're gonna improve from last year. They were very injured last year. You're gonna improve from last year, but still a team that's probably in the lottery. Blackhawks likely going to be in the lottery as well, very likely. So this is a good measuring stick of okay, where are we actually at in Game 3? Are we, the team that can beat Pittsburgh, or something less than that? So it's actually going to be a pretty good measuring stick game.
Pittsburgh looked a lot better against Washington.
They sure
Washington's
did.
Bad.
Washington looked awful.
They are
Woof.
Ovechkin and his merry men.
Oof,
Just
good
score
luck.
goals, Ovi, and sell tickets. That's all they care about right now, because that
All right,
team
but
old
before-
and bad.
Before we wrap up, let's play Who's Your Hawk.
Let's play.
Mario
Who's Your
is the
Hawk.
winless one. Why don't you go first?
I'm taking the winless strategy, and I am going with Connor Bedard.
Well, let's see what happens, because when I picked him game 1, he didn't score a goal. Nobody picked him game 2. He scored a goal. So let's
That's
see.
true.
So
Well,
if he doesn't
what
score,
happens.
blame Mario.
Yeah.
If he doesn't score,
well, he got an
goal-
assist in the game that
Right,
you
he
picked
did,
him. So
but he didn't
as
win.
long as he gets a
Secondary.
point, I'll at least,
PHNX was not impressed with
I'll
the
at least be
secondary
happy.
assist.
and
I'm second
Jay?
because I won least recently. I'm going to ride the coattails of Connor Bedard and pick Taylor Radish. I think he's going to score a goal today.
that'd be nice.
I was going to pick Taylor Radish if you follow me, but I picked last since I won the last game. And I'm going to go with Andreas Athanasiou. I think him and Lucas Reichel are going to get some good chemistry going, get some good speed, and maybe he sneaks one past the mighty Sam Montembeau.
Let's hope we're all correct.
Yeah.
I hope we're all
We got a super chat to hit before we go. Alton V says it's been a minute since I showed some SC love. Oh, South Carolina. Super chat love. There we go. I've been rocking with
I
y'all
thought
since
South
the beginning.
Carolina,
Keep
too.
up
South
the
Carolina.
great work. Thank you, Alton. We appreciate you being there.
Absolutely. One of our OG
That's
chatters.
right. And make sure you join us post-game. A few minutes after the game ends, we will be here for you. So stick around. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you're alerted when we go live, and you'll know when to jump in. On your way out, please smash that like button for us. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you on the other side on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.